What? Yeah, you can get away with one F word, and it can't be related to sex. Uh, hello. Good evening. It's me, Rudy. I'm back. I'm cooking food for you, the internet, because that's what I like to do. Got a new camera for the overhead cam. Had so much fun. I'm could be more focused right now, but hey, that's how it goes. I got to play with that a little bit more, but it's okay. I'm so excited. I've got one of my close internet friends here. Close friend. Period. Let me fix that. All right. Just because we're internet friends doesn't mean we're real friends. And that's my tip of the day for you. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and bring them in because I'm embarrassing myself. Hi, it's TK Johnson. Hello, TK. Oh my goodness. It's TK. Hi. Please introduce yourself for everyone who's watching who doesn't know you, like my mom and dad. Mm. Oh my God, TK, they didn't hear you say any of that because I'm an idiot. Uh. Oh my God, this is part of. We have captions. Oh, I forgot to unmute you. Say hi.
Oh, that makes
There we
sense.
go.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I'm a
okay.
professional, by the way. Okay. Please reintroduce yourself. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Hello, it's still me and it's still TK. Like I said, I used to do a lot of streaming. I did a lot of freelance adventures, Wizard of the Coast, Paizo, Zweihander, lots of little things like that. And I hope
Oh,
that they can hear me. Hello.
yes, everyone can hear you. I didn't know you wrote for Paizo.
Yeah, I
Was
wrote
that
for
fun?
Mwangi Expanse.
Oh, okay. What is that, Pathfinder 2 or was that Pathfinder
Yes,
original or?
that's Lost Omens, Pathfinder 2E. That is the Mwangi Expanse is an area in Galarian that is really informed by like African folk tales and storytelling, and things like that. And it's just really cool.
Cool. Did you like Pathfinder Second Edition or I never played it, so.
Honestly, we are in the middle. I guess people should know I work for Roll20. We're in the
Mm.
middle of launching the GM core and player core. So I now know more about Pathfinder than I did when I wrote for it.
Wow. Yeah. And you have only positive things to say and check out when
Yeah,
that
no. I do.
launches.
I do love the art. I know in core they've like made a lot of the spell casting a lot more similar. So almost all of the spell casting has the same DC now, which is great.
Oh, nice. I like
Yeah,
when
yeah, yeah, yeah.
games do that. That kind of
Yeah.
fits. Yeah. My father owns the vehicle Pathfinder, so he finds
Oh,
it very
good.
amusing when I talk about
Still,
Pathfinder on stream. Yeah, still 1999 Pathfinder. Um,
homie, good for you.
yeah, still rolling around in that. It
Yeah.
works.
Oh,
He says it
fitness,
works
yes.
well. I would maybe say it works. Then I would put a period at the end of that sentence.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, if it starts and it travels to a place without exploding, and I guess the seatbelts work, you know.
yeah. Oh, a couple Pathfinder owners in chat. Wow, how about that? So
It's a
it must be
convention.
doubly amusing when we talk about Pathfinder on my stream. But let's talk about food now on the stream. Let us go to the new
God,
high def cutting board cam. Look at how
I'm so
high
excited.
def this is. Look at how
I
well you
love
can
food.
read Panko.
Whoa!
Wow, that's high. That definition. Way better
I can
than the
see my
wide cam.
reflection in that knife.
Oh, this is a this I love this knife. I've talked about this knife on stream before because I enjoy it so much. It's a Misen. It's called their utility knife.
Whoa.
It's I don't know. It's like 8 inches, 7 inches. You get a lot more precision with it than your standard like big bulky
Yeah.
chef's knife.
Yeah,
Here they are
yeah.
next to each
I
other.
um I used to be a hairdresser, and I
Hmm.
always got scissors with the short blades on them. I like an
Oh.
under 4 inch blade, not just because I can take it on the plane, but also because it just gives you a lot more control.
Yes,
In my
exactly.
Yeah, it gives you a
Yes.
lot more control. A lot of people like a 6 inch shear length, and I don't like that
No,
nonsense
with the,
much.
yeah. Cool. See, hair cutting, cooking, everything, it all comes back to cooking, right?
Yeah.
That's what they teach you in hairdresser school. Hairdresser, it's like hair is linguine. You're basically cutting the same thing. Yeah, I'm sure that's what they tell you, right? Yeah, 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 yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we did used to call it we call them cookie dough curls, which is basically whenever somebody has bleached or overprocessed their hair to the point that cutting through it feels like going through wet cookie dough.
Oh boy.
Um, yeah, I once had a person who insisted on having like the ridiculous like over processing in their bleaching, their highlights, and they wanted it like platinum, and then they wanted a perm, and I was still in hair school at the time, so I couldn't stop them. I
Sure,
tried to
yeah.
get my teacher in to be like, "Hey, uh please tell them we can't do this. Their hair will fall out." And my teacher was like, "Well, they paid their money. So, if you already told them that their hair is going to fall out, you should do it." I was like, and so, like, when they were at the bowl and I was taking perm rods out of their hair because you have to, the pH balance has now changed. So you're neutralizing the pH balance back to 0 or 7 or whatever the pH of water is. Um, you're neutralizing it in the shampoo bowl, and like I'm taking out their perm rods and their hair is coming away like on the
Oh
perm rods.
God.
And so they had to have a pixie cut because their
Oh hey,
hair just broke off.
that's yeah.
Yep. Anyway, cookie
Pixie
dough
cut always
curls.
in style though,
Always in
timeless.
style, baby.
Yeah. All right. So today we're gonna make mac and cheese.
Oh, I love mac and cheese.
You do. In fact, it was so fun. When I was starting to do this show, you posted on Instagram a bunch of mac and cheese pics, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I want TK to be on my show, and I hope we make mac and cheese. So,
Yeah, mac and cheese, baked mac and cheese is a very traditional Southern Black dish for Thanksgiving, and it
mm,
was probably my first. It's probably my first time in like 12 years that I've cooked for Thanksgiving. We were going to a
oh,
friend potluck, so it was a new recipe to me. So I was nervous.
yes, because you are from the South.
Yeah,
And yeah, I confirmed this earlier. You're a Kentucky person. You're from
I
Kentucky, which is
am. And
considered the South.
depending
Yes.
on where you are in Kentucky,
Oh,
yes.
really? Okay. So tell me
Yeah,
about this Kentucky difference here.
so I am from Hopkinsville, which is on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. That's considered Western Kentucky. It's considered Southern. It's for some reason not considered as Southern as like Appalachia, like Eastern Kentucky. So if you're in like
Huh.
Northeastern Kentucky, you're still considered more Southern than Southwestern Kentucky. Whatever. But so that's solidly rural South. That's like Alabama type South,
Okay.
not like Georgia type South.
Gotcha.
And now I live just about an hour south of Louisville,
Oh,
near Fort
okay.
Knox. So I am
Oh, they got all
Kentuckian
that.
enough to
They got all
pronounce
that
it
gold in Fort
Louisville.
Knox, right? They got all that
Yeah, yeah,
gold.
the
Yeah.
gold. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
gold.
still there.
Yeah, it sure
I've tried
is.
to talk you into heisting that a number of times, but you're too.
Nope,
No.
I'm too close to the government.
That's true. That's true. You'd be the first person they'd go after.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
cool. I didn't know you were so close to Louisville, too, because I have a Louisville
yeah.
related question coming up that I'm excited to
Louisville.
ask you. But, well, let me ask now Kentucky, this is a food show, food podcast.
Food.
It's not a podcast, it's a show. I love, and just for
Close your
what I'm
eyes.
doing,
Now it's a podcast.
now it's a podcast. I'm going to start boiling some pasta. Oh, let me ask you before we even get to that. Pasta shape for I got these guys. They're called Salentani.
I love
Um,
these. They're so
you love they're like
fun.
little curly. They're
Yeah.
like little piggy tails, little curly
Little
piggy
little
tails.
curly boys. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
little
love
curly
them.
boys. I think they do really well with cheese
So,
sauce and adhering and things like that. So
yum, yum,
I'm a
yum.
big fan. Are you? Do you like those too? Do you like elbows? I think that's elbow macaroni
I
is classic. Or
yeah, elbow macaroni is traditional. For me, all noodles are good noodles. I don't think
all
that there are
noodles
any
are good
bad
noodles.
noodles,
Love it.
with the
Love
exception
that take.
I don't like zucchini noodles. That
Zoodles, as they're
Yeah,
sometimes
I
known.
don't like those.
Hmm.
I don't really care for chickpea noodles because they will collapse in the water and nobody
Yes, they get.
nobody
Talking
tells you
about
the first
hair
time you cook
falling
them.
apart. Sometimes
Yeah.
chickpea noodles will do that kind of deal. Yeah.
Heart of Palm's okay.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay. I don't know that I've tried. I've tried a lot of alternative
they're
noodles in
more
my day,
firm.
but I haven't
Yeah, they're
heard.
more firm.
What about shirataki? Have you had those? The
I
zero
have
calorie ones, or
the almost anything that's shirataki or like the like impossible rice and things like
yes,
that where it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
the made of mushrooms and stuff. Too slimy for me. Don't love it. It's
Yeah,
like nope,
it's
don't love it.
the fact that they have to be in that water beforehand. And it's like you have to rinse
Hate
them
it.
really well, or they'll smell like
No, no,
fish.
no.
It's like,
Well, I'll just eat fish. I don't.
yeah,
What's
exactly.
the problem?
I'll just
It's like,
slice fish up real thin like noodles, and then
yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be foodles.
No, I don't
That's a
like it.
million
Yeah,
dollar
I
idea
had to
right
go
there.
through a lot of alternatives because recently diagnosed as diabetic like two
Yes,
years
so
ago. So
carbs, right? The
yeah,
bad
yeah, carbs.
carbs for you, which
Gotta and I maxed those bad boys out at Thanksgiving. Heck yeah.
okay, but yes. So you like any pasta shape? I like that. I'm going to start boiling my pasta in a moment. I'm gonna undercook it a little bit, right? Does that make
Yeah,
sense, right? Because we're gonna be baking it in
yeah,
the oven for a bit. So
yeah. Even when they are sitting in the sauce, they're still going to
they're
heat
still
through
gonna
because
keep
of the
cooking.
sauce. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
sauce will be hot
Especially because
too.
of all the fat will soften it. So you
Yes.
want them a little bit before al
A
dente.
little firmer. So I've got my box says 11 to 12 minutes. I'm gonna do maybe 9. We'll drop at
Yeah,
9. We'll do
yeah,
9, and then I'm gonna cut up some cheese because I've
yeah,
got 4 kinds of cheese here staring at me. Because
yeah,
that was your. I mean, I guess 3 kinds technically. One's a different color, but I've
yeah.
got half a pound each of white cheddar,
Mhm.
Colby Jack, or one of the yeah right
Yummy.
Colby Jack,
Yeah.
and Gouda, and then yellow cheddar, which I'm going to use this to top with. Um,
Yeah, top with that. I will
I'm going to top with
say,
that.
something that I definitely learned early in my childhood with mac and cheesies
Yes.
is that if you don't put enough yellows into the roux when you make the cheese sauce, it's gonna be pale, but it'll still be cheesy. It'll still be good.
Okay.
Love an extra sharp.
Yes. Oh, all extra sharp. I'm a big fan of Cracker Barrel. I don't know if they have the Cracker Barrel cheese in Kentucky, but
Yeah, they do.
that's my brand
We
of
have almost
choice.
nothing but Cracker Barrel here.
Really?
It's wild.
What are the grocery stores? And this is something I'm going to ask everyone who's not near me. What are some of the grocery store chains near you? Because that's such a weird, specific America thing. I think like the
Yeah,
different
yeah.
regions having different grocery stores. So what are the ones near you called?
So the ones that are in Kentucky, and I do my grocery shopping in both like Louisville, Kentucky, Hopkinsville, like Southern Kentucky. I'm in Nashville a lot and I'm in Atlanta a lot. So a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of different grocery stores.
Regions.
So the
Yeah.
ones in the Louisville, like in this like rural area that I'm in, which is like Fort Knox and Elizabethtown, it's all like Kroger, Aldi, Priceless
Kroger, Aldi.
Foods,
Okay. Okay.
Save a Lot.
Okay.
Um, where I grew up, it used to we had like E.W. James and Sons, Piggly
Oh,
Wiggly,
Piggly
Food
Wiggly. I've heard of that.
Lion.
Oh, Food Lion.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, Food
I love
Lion.
Food Lion. That's
Food
the
Giant as
funniest.
well.
Food Lion. Oh, Food Giant. They're rivals, I believe. The
Yeah,
Food Lion and the
yeah.
Food
And
Giant.
there's also a Food Mart, but that's a smaller one. It's
Food
more
Mart.
convenience. Yeah,
I Food Giant is the funniest, or Food Lion is the funniest.
I
Like
love
it
it.
makes no sense. I love it too. That like, why would
Yeah.
it be of all the animals to choose, you choose a lion? I don't.
Oh, for sure. For
Food
sure. It's
hippo or
buck
food
wild.
elephant makes more
Well, I
sense
guess
to
because
me.
Piggly Wiggly was already taken. They were like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
what are
you
other
can't be
animals?
food
Oh
pig.
no.
Yeah.
What are they?
I am not gonna grate for my cheese sauce. I'm gonna small cube. I think. I don't know if you have thoughts on that, but since it's just going in the
Um
milky roux, I think it'll be okay.
So if you cube them real small, like pinky
Yes,
nail, just
yes, yes,
because
yes.
are they room temperature?
They are. They've been hanging out for a bit, so
Okay,
they're
then
not super
they'll
cold.
probably melt fast
They'll
enough.
melt
Have they
well.
started sweating?
They're getting that kind of sheen
Yeah,
to
yeah,
them.
little
Yeah,
sheen. Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, yeah,
they'll
yeah.
yeah, as long as they're not cold, they
Yes, it
should be
should
able to
melt pretty
melt
well.
before the dairy and fat separates.
Yes. Okay, cool. Let's go back to Kentucky now.
Yeah,
Kentucky Fried
Kentucky.
Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken, right?
Yeah.
That is like the most famous Kentucky food I would say in the world, and like it's in
Yeah.
it's like huge in Japan, huge in New Zealand, huge in Europe.
Yeah.
Like you'll hear Japanese people say the word like I don't hear Japanese people talking about New Jersey, but they all know Kentucky and they say Kentucky, and like that's kind of wild to me. I mean, I am proud of being from New Jersey, but
Yeah.
is what do you think of Kentucky Fried Chicken as a Kentuckian? What do you think of its global appeal? Do you like it? Do you like other places like Popeyes more? What are your thoughts?
So I live just outside of Louisville, which is the Yum Brands
Oh
headquarters.
yes, that's the
Yum owns
parent company.
Pizza
Yeah,
Hut.
yeah.
Yeah,
Taco
Pizza Hut,
Bell,
Taco
right?
Bell,
So if you see
A
any
and
of the
W,
oh okay wow A&W yeah that's why
Long
sometimes you'll
John
see
Silver's.
yeah there's a Taco Bell Long John Silver's near me.
Hmm.
So that's why sometimes you'll see those combined Taco Bell Pizza Hut or
Yeah. Our thing
KFC
is
Pizza Hut.
we love to go to like A&W because there's one just
Ooh,
outside of Mammoth Cave, a few hours
okay.
south of us. Uh they have one that has the keg, the root beer keg where
Root beer
they
keg.
yeah, they make and it's like a pump and you can pump your own root beer. I can't because it doesn't come in sugar free, so I have to use the
Oh
fountain drinks, but that's fine. Sugar-free root beer is still root beer, it's fine.
yeah. Oh, that's fun. So
Or
you're close. You're close to the
yeah,
headquarters of KFC,
the promised land.
the promised land.
Let's see. So KFC, I think that there's like one thing. First of all, they took the cookies out of the meal that comes with like the only thing that I really eat there, which is the famous bowls. Um,
That's the famous bowls are the only thing you eat there? Really?
yeah,
A
they
very
are.
polarizing
I'm
product.
not really, I'm not really a fried chicken fan.
Sure.
And that's not really KFC's fault. I will say
No.
if you go to a KFC in Kentucky, there's like a 70% chance that you go in and they're like, we're out of chicken. And you're like, okay. It's buck wild. But maybe I've also only lived in places where they don't stock chicken. The ice cream machine is
Sure.
broken, et cetera,
Oh,
et
at the
cetera.
McDonald's, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, all right. But yeah, I'm almost always going to like a KFC and like there's chicken broken or something. So we have a Lee's here, which I really like. And I like them for
A
their chicken pop.
Lee's?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, it's like Popeyes.
Oh, I've never heard of that. It's Lee's L
Yeah.
E E or what is it?
Yeah. Leee
Interesting.
apostrophe S. Yeah,
Yeah,
Lee's
I've never heard of
chicken.
that one.
Yeah, they do a really good chicken pot pie. It's one of the really they do a big one. It's a big boy. I love a chicken
Ooh.
pot pie. That's one of
Yeah, I
my
love a big boy
favorites.
pie.
And then of course Popeye's biscuits are good. But I've never
Yeah.
really cared for like buckets of chicken or chicken sandwiches or anything like that. I don't really like crispy chicken.
Gotcha.
Which is great because it's bad for diabetics. So
I mean, it's bad for everybody. So,
it is. It's
uh,
not good for anyone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's still, but Kentucky, like, is still KFC's really popular. People aren't like, oh yeah, yeah, Kentucky Fried
Oh
Chicken, blah blah
yeah.
blah. It's still
Yeah, yeah.
exciting and cool.
Well, I don't know if it's exciting and cool, but a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
them around here take EBT, so
Oh, okay, okay, sure. It's still
yeah.
popular.
It's very much a especially in Kentucky, it's a lot of small towns, and so when franchises are happening, like people mom and pop stores go out really fast.
Oh,
Yeah, so sometimes that's what people have, and if you don't get fried chicken at like KFC, you might get it at Popeyes, or you might be stuck having to get it at like the Walmart deli. So,
sure.
you know, I will say, fried chicken is like one of the things, especially down in like the rural South. My husband is from like the Providence area, which is like a 2,000 person town.
Oh wow. Okay.
And when you go to funerals down there, one of the first things people do is they bring in fried chicken.
Bring a
It's
buckets of
like
fried chicken.
instead of the casseroles, instead of casseroles, they bring
Sure.
like a thing of fried chicken,
That's
and that's
like the
like,
comfort food, right? Yeah.
yeah,
That
well, kind of, yeah, and it's like, I heard about it on my way to work between shifts, so I went out,
I
got this
just
chicken, dropping it off. I'm going
grabbed
to
it.
my next shift at work,
Gotcha.
type of
Yeah.
stuff.
It's an
Yep.
easy thing to grab and show that you're thinking of someone. Okay, cool. So let's talk Rue, shall we? Oh, let me set a timer.
Yeah.
Alexa, set timer 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Okay.
Starting now.
So my brother does mac and cheese for Thanksgiving too. That's kind of what he brings, and
Yee.
he did it a couple of them recently, and he's like, "Here's my ratios. Uh, however many cups of or how many over cups of milk, or not roux, I guess we're talking like the bechamel. However many cups of milk you do, double that in tablespoons of flour. So I've got 2 cups milk. I'm gonna do 4 tablespoons of flour and butter. Do you have any thoughts on this, or
Um, I'm gonna be straight up.
okay,
Uh,
you eyeball?
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
of
gonna
course.
be,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that
Yeah.
makes total sense. Yeah.
I hate to play into the stereotype of black people don't believing in measurements.
Oh, okay.
But we don't.
No, that makes sense. This is yeah. You
We're
just
like, whatever.
when it gets to that that sludgy consistency or whatever you want to call it, that's how you know it's good. So I
Well,
understand completely.
I don't know about sludgy.
Sludgy? No,
That's
not sludgy. What is the perfect roux consistency? What's the word you describe?
um I would say creamy. I think
Creamy.
creamy's
Okay,
fine.
that's a better word. That's definitely a
Creamy.
more delicious sounding word than
I think
sludgy.
because sludgy felt like it had like lumps in it.
Yeah.
We don't want lumpy
No, we want a
flour.
nice smooth,
Hmm.
creamy roux. Okay.
Yeah, we want creamy boy.
Cream,
Yeah.
creamy boy roux. Okay.
Creamy twisty boys.
Yes. Okay, let me ask you about another iconic Kentucky food,
Tell
which
me.
is known for its extravagance. Kentucky hot brown. Yeah? You're
Yo.
making a face.
I will say, I will say Kentucky hot brown, a sandwich, first of all.
Okay.
And a lot of
Open face
people
sandwich or
like,
sandwich
yeah,
sandwich?
yeah, it's an open face
Okay.
sandwich. Do you know what a hot brown is? Have you ever seen one?
I've seen Bobby Flay compete with them about it and like get smashed,
Lord.
which is
The,
always enjoyable to watch. But
the
it's like a lot of things. Can you break it down
Yeah,
for us?
it's buck wild. It really depends on like who you are and where you are, but it's basically
Oh,
just an
okay.
open face sandwich with gravy poured all over it, and then like a little slab of cheese. And
Yeah. Yeah,
when
because like, I'm sorry,
oh,
I'm
go ahead.
keep interrupting you, but like
No.
turkey or bacon might be involved
Yeah,
depending on where you
yeah,
are, right? Yeah.
pretty much. It's like it, and you do eat it with like a fork and knife, and it's
Mm.
I don't like, I think it looks like dog food personally. That's just how I feel. And I've only ever met rich people who have eaten it. Like I've
Oh,
never
really?
like I don't hardly know anybody who's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to go home and make a hot brown as like comfort food or something." It's not like grilled cheese, you
Yeah.
know?
It doesn't seem like
But
a
yeah.
thing you make at home. It seems like a thing you buy
Yeah, you
somewhere,
get it in a
right?
restaurant. When
Exactly.
I used to work at this like hoity-toity cafe down in Southern Kentucky. It was called Dumplins, and it was one of those cafes that like rich old people used to go to a lot. And I can't
Okay.
tell you how many times, and I mean like rich. I can't tell you how many times like older grandparents would come in and they would like introduce their grandkids to each other, like setting up sort of like
Sure.
engagement type stuff. And
Oh
people
my
would have engagement
goodness.
parties
Old
there. Yeah,
Kentucky,
yeah.
certainly. Yeah, old
Yeah,
Kentucky.
very like blue blood lunch place. and everybody who's anybody met each other for lunch there, type of stuff. And
Yeah,
these,
let us have the
like,
sloppiest sandwich
yeah,
in existence to celebrate
yes.
our future nuptials. Yeah.
Oh, I know. And it's like they would eat it with a fork and knife and they would they'd have like gloves on and stuff. I'm like, what is happening? This can't be good. And the thing is I knew tons of people who ordered it. I was a hostess, so I
Okay.
was never a waiter. I did cash register and stuff. I sat people and like I rang them up and things, and I would try to upsell dessert to them and stuff. That was a lot of that stuff that I did. And it was a very like coveted job for if you were in a sorority or whatever, but it was my second job. I had like another
Really?
job somewhere
Sure.
else. Because I was like the only applicant who knew how to count back change. I was like, come on, guys. It was rough. But yeah, this was like a sorority type place. And yeah, I will say I saw a lot of like rich older ladies order it. I can't remember for the
That's
life
so
of me seeing
funny.
any of them eat it.
Oh, really? It's a status thing. It's a
It's
status thing.
wild. I
We
was
have to
like, what is
buy, yeah,
happening?
the messy open-faced sandwich to show that we're true
Buck wild.
Kentuckians. Yeah,
Buck wild. I'm like,
that
what
is
is
crazy.
happening? Oh my god, it's crazy. But when you said the other when you said the other like famous Kentucky thing,
Oh?
I thought you were gonna say mint julep for a minute.
Oh, sure, the drink. Yeah,
Yeah, the drink
definitely.
of the
Like
Derby.
on the porch or having a mint julep. I'm trying to remember what's in that. Is it creme de menthe and whiskey?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay. And that's it? Or is
Uh,
there like
I don't think it's whiskey.
it's not whiskey? Or is it what is the
Uh,
Kentucky whiskey? You know what I mean?
I think it's.
Bourbon or
Is it not gin?
someone Google it.
Oh
Someone in
my
chat.
gosh.
Google that.
Oh
Alexa,
yeah, yeah.
what's in
Google
a
it.
mint julep?
A mint julep is an alcoholic drink made with bourbon whiskey,
Bourbon
sugar,
whiskey,
Oh,
water.
sugar,
bourbon.
water, and mint.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Cool, cool, cool.
because bourbon is that the Kentucky whiskey? I know there's a whole
Yeah,
umbrella and lots of different
yeah. Bourbon, like,
kinds
I
and
live
yeah.
just off of the Bourbon Trail, which is like a bunch of distilleries up here.
Oh, so you
And
could go.
yeah, there
Yeah.
is a difference between like bourbon, like Kentucky bourbon, and like Tennessee whiskeys and stuff.
Yes, yes, yes.
Usually like the Tennessee whiskeys and stuff have like a brown sugar or molasses like
Yes.
drip
And
through
like
process or something.
rye is another one I think that has a
Hmm.
different kind of sugar.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Kentucky bourbon's usually like a sipping drink.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a throwback drink. Some people do. I don't. I'm sober now. I used to though.
Sure.
It was rough. We had a rough time, baby.
Okay, so I got my butter up to temp. It's all melted. I grated my half a block of sharp yellow to top the mac and cheese with.
Yeah,
Gonna
baby.
pour. We're gonna do our roux now. Where's my spatula? And we're gonna make sure we stir
Yummy.
this and don't stop stirring it because we want it to mix really well.
Yes, we do.
So sludgy seems like the good right word to me. I don't know. I'm getting big sludge vibes from
Why
this.
aren't
All
you
right.
using a whisk?
Where's my? I don't know where my whisk is, so that's why.
Oh,
Spatula can
ruh-roh.
do it all. Spatula's the king. All right. Yeah. I mean, and that's really it's pretty well combined already.
Yeah.
Like you don't
So
bring this real dark, right? Like
no,
like a
no, 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 no,
gumbo
no.
or anything like that, right?
No, because
No.
if you bring it too dark, then it starts to separate, and then your mac and cheese comes out more greasy than creamy when
Oh
you do
no.
scoop into it. Which isn't bad. Like
Oop.
it doesn't really affect the taste; it just affects the pull. If that
Oh,
makes
we
it.
want that. We want that
Yeah, yeah.
Instagram
You
cheese
you
pull.
want a beautiful pull whenever you like scoop it up
Alexa,
out,
stop.
and you want the noodles to look like really like not too shiny but nice
Ow, hot.
creamy, have good
Yes.
cheese. Have good
Yes.
cheese.
So my noodles, speaking of which, just went off. So I'm gonna pour these out and drop them in my little container. Oh, I didn't. This is bad timing because I didn't want to.
What whoa.
My roux's off the heat, but I kind of wanted to do that real quick. All right, we're okay. Okay, I'm just doing half a pound for reasons, but
Yeah.
normally I would do a
What
full pound.
did you say raisins?
Reasons, not for raisins.
Oh
I'm
my
getting called
gosh.
out for my lack of whisk over here. Okay,
I thought you
so
said you were putting in half a pound of raisins into your macaroni and cheese, and I was about
that
to leave.
is that
I
is
was
not
about to
what I was
straight
saying.
up leave. I was
That was
like,
not what I said.
how dare you do this to me?
Okay, so milk is now in. I just want to make sure the milk isn't cold. Like I don't. The
Yeah,
longer I
yeah.
cook it down. Speaking of sludgy,
Mm-hmm.
if I cook this down, my cheese
Yep.
sauce is gonna get sludgy, which is
Yeah, and
not
it'll start
ideal.
to separate.
Yeah, we want it to be. Oh my god, I'm splashing everywhere. We want it to be velvety and smooth and creamy.
Yeah.
Sludge, good for roux, bad for cheese sauce. That's what Rudy
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, because we don't want once it gets sludgy, it starts to try and get grainy, and
Yeah. Oh
that'll take
yeah.
on the noodles. It's bad. Nobody
Yeah.
likes it.
That's
And
definitely not
for the plan
delicious.
that we have later with the mac and cheese, we
Oh.
we don't want it gritty.
All right. Now I'm gonna dump uh, a pound and a half of cheese in here, or 3/4 pound of cheese.
Yeah, do it.
Oh man, it's just going right in.
Be
Everybody
so
in the pool.
delicious.
I like. So what?
Careful
How
with the
did you?
splash.
Yeah, that's okay. It's part of the business.
Okay.
How did you come to this combination of cheeses?
So this was part of the recipe that I was trying. So I had never used I usually do extra sharp yellow cheddar.
Hmm.
And then I'll do like a pepper jack and then I'll
Okay.
do a Gouda. Uh,
Okay.
but I had never added white cheddar and Colby Jack before, but that makes sense because they melt so easy.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Colby Jack is a really great. Like sometimes if I'm doing something with another cheese, I'll add a little Colby
mhm.
Jack in because it melts so well, and that
Melts
like
so easily.
yes, and that means that like the other like grilled cheese, it's really great as a like throw a slice in your grilled cheese. You'll get
Yes.
that cheese pull
You get that
that is so
that
fun.
sweet pull, baby.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
with cheddar, like it doesn't, especially a white cheddar, it takes a
Mm-hmm.
while for it to melt. But
Okay.
because Colby Jack doesn't have much of a taste, some of that white cheddar can
Yes.
transfer on over. So it's not
Yes.
overpowering with the different textures of cheeses.
No, yeah, Colby Jack. It's mild. It's a texture cheese. Like that
Yeah,
sounds weird
yeah,
to say, but I think that that's. Oh,
yeah.
also
It's
you
an
said
aesthetic cheese.
it's an aesthetic cheese.
It's-
You add smoked paprika in now you said Creole. I
yeah,
only have
baby.
Cajun seasoning,
Cajun
but
and Creole are pretty close in seasoning. Let's
yes,
be
that was my
they're
understanding.
not
I didn't feel
too
bad
super
about it.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not too super different.
is that going in now? I would think in our cheese sauce, or should I wait for it to get a little more melty?
I wait
When
for
are
it
we
to
putting
get
that
melty
in?
so it doesn't clump.
Okay. Yeah, good call. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to be careful. Got to really scrape the bottom because that roux will
Yeah.
stick and
Yes, it will. And it's
be
very
bad.
funny because it's like now is a good time to be like, oh yeah, all the seasoning in, straight in, boys.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, we gotta be
Patience.
patient.
Got to
Because
be
if we're
patient.
patient now, it pays off later.
Yes. Okay. So we're being patient. We're letting our cheese melt. Let me ask you another question.
Yeah, tell me.
Let me ask you, Southerner. What's up with grits? You like grits? What's
I
going on over there?
no,
What's
I don't like
happening with
grits.
grits? No?
I don't like grits.
You don't
No, I
like
don't.
grits? Do people
I don't
throw
like the
eggs at you in
texture.
the area, or like
I
is
don't
that a
like eggs either.
betrayal?
So
Oh,
sometimes it's for some people. The people that you usually get are if a person is a grits person or if a person is a biscuits and gravy person.
oh,
And I'm a biscuits and gravy
oh! You
person.
have to
Uh
choose. You have to choose your allegiance
yeah,
as a
yeah.
Kentuckian.
It's like Avatar. Yeah.
It's like Avatar.
Yeah. Are you a
Explain.
disgusting grits eating monster or are you a
Okay.
delicious biscuits and gravy lover?
Are we talking about James
Yeah,
Cameron's Avatar or M Night Shyamalan's Avatar?
it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
One of them is clearly the bad guy,
Okay. Very true. Very true.
and it's grits. No, no, it's it. I think it's more like it's just more likely for one of them to be made regularly in the house.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially if you're like my family, we did a lot of bacon, we did a lot of sausage and things like that. When we did cook, we would do a lot of bacon, sausage, and things like that. And then it's easy to either do like cowboy eggs or uh like biscuits and gravy or something with the greasy pan that's left over. So you're kind of not cleaning the pan at the same time, but it's kind of a two for
Yeah,
one.
deglazing
Yeah.
or whatever. You're
What
making
about you?
use of the fat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
for sure.
gold.
Yeah,
Back up a
but
second. What are cowboy eggs? I must know.
cowboy eggs are scrambled eggs that you make in the fat.
Oh, really? That's just Okay, just
It's
instead
just
of
dirty
butter.
scrambled eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
instead of
color will change a little
yeah, and
bit.
so they'll come out tasting kind of like bacon.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
what do you know? I've been
And
making
then
cowboy eggs for a while. I mean, I'm
yeah,
just a true natural cowboy, so it makes
yeah, those
sense
cowboy
that
eggs.
I would
Different
have
from
those
cowboy
cowboy
coffee though.
urges. Is that with chicory or what is cowboy coffee?
Cowboy coffee
Bad
is a
coffee?
coffee that you use
Ooh, we're getting cheesy.
when you are oh boy, okay. So when you're making your coffee and you're making
Okay.
eggs at the same time, you put
Okay.
the egg white into the coffee grounds before you
Interesting.
steep them because it will the fluffiness will soak up a lot of the bitterness.
Interesting. I like this.
Yeah.
That's really
The
fascinating.
yeah, the proteins in it will like cling to a lot of the bitterness that's in the coffee, a lot of the acids, so you come out with a very like smooth velvety coffee. You can get a similar now, you don't have to do all of that. You can get a very similar like removing the bitterness if you put salt in your coffee.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too. Salt, like
Yep.
Vietnamese salted coffee is a big thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've recently been getting into
Yeah, there
Vietnamese
you
coffee,
go.
so
Look at
yeah,
that. Yes,
yeah.
ooh,
This texture,
creamy.
I'm getting a little. It's a little shiny. Let me turn on my.
Yeah.
That
What
kind
does
of
the
helps,
edge
but
look like? Is
the
is the
edge.
edge is the edge fully opaque or are you starting to get a little bit of transparency around the edge?
No, we're still opaque. It hasn't separated
Okay.
yet. So,
Then yeah,
I
you're
think
not
I'm well
separated.
melted, and I'm gonna melt a little bit
Yeah, you're
more.
looking
So
good.
I'm gonna turn off
Now
my
is
heat.
probably a good time to go ahead and add that the
And you,
spices.
I assume you're still eyeballing here. You don't have measurements. Do we want like a full red
So
color or?
the measurement is if you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoned. That's the measurement for seasoning. I'm not
Okay.
kidding. Google it.
Okay. I've never heard that, but I like
Google
it.
the phrase if you ain't sneezing, it ain't seasoned, and you'll understand exactly how much seasoning you need.
Okay. How about red eye gravy? Is that a thing that's Kentucky or Southern or that's with the
Uh,
coffee?
we're not really a red eye gravy. I know I
Where's that
have
from?
known people who have had red eye gravy, but almost all of them are like Chicago types, like
Oh,
or they're
really?
from like big cities or something, but then transplanted down in Kentucky. Um,
Interesting.
so we're not really like mostly because we just don't do a lot of coffee.
Oh,
We just
okay.
don't do a lot of coffee. It's a lot of tea down here.
Oh,
Tea's our big thing.
interesting.
Tea is our
Tea's
big
big.
thing.
Okay, so I'm really happy with my cheese sauce. The color has definitely changed, and I like this change.
Yeah.
It's got kind of like a darker, yeah, kind of like
Yeah,
a
it should have a
reddish
swirl.
hue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I love a lot of cracked black pepper in my cheese sauce too. I like the way that looks. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah.
Like those
Yeah.
specks. It makes me think of sawmill gravy.
Oh, yeah,
With
for
this
sure.
with the pepper specks.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
and it gives a little bit of heat in the back. Okay, cool. I'm gonna do something funky. Uh,
Tell
I'm
me about
gonna.
it. Tell me.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna throw some crab meat in this mac and cheese. I don't know how you feel about that. You're making a displeased face. Am I
Oh,
ruining it?
yes,
Am I
please.
ruining it?
No, you're not. You're not. I've never had crab meat in mac and
Yeah,
cheese.
I. I'm like, oh, of course, it makes total sense. But then I'm talking to people and they're like, what are you doing? Lobster mac and cheese.
Oh,
Lobster mac and
yeah.
cheese, everybody
Yeah.
knows about. But I'm
Yeah.
like, if lobster, why not crab? You know? Why
You
not
know
our
what?
other friends from the other crustacean friends from the sea?
That is true. How is that going to taste later?
You know, maybe I won't do the crab mac and cheese. Crab's
Honestly,
been used for so many things that
live your finest life.
yeah, Charlie in chat saying crab meat is superior to lobster.
It
Yeah,
is
I
superior. It
prefer
could
it
still
very
work
much
because
so.
I think that
Yeah,
people have had. I think that have had tomato or like lobster mac and cheese with like tomatoes served on the side.
interesting.
I don't know though.
Because you know, in Maryland they're doing it because they're
Let's
obsessed
see.
with crabs because they're very annoying about it. But that's
So do they not? Do
excuse
they
me.
not fish a lot? They don't crab or lobster a lot in New Jersey. Aren't y'all? Are y'all not on the water?
Yeah, no, we are the Jersey Shore.
Bless
It's
you.
not. No, I guess New Jersey's not really a fishing state. Definitely the Jersey Shore is a thing, popularized
Yeah.
by a certain television program. But
Yeah.
the Jersey Shore is like the water's gross.
Oh yeah, the water's
uh,
gross here too.
yeah. I guess there is some. I don't know. You know, Maryland's like the crab state. Massachusetts, New England's like the lobster, the
I
scallops.
do love scallops.
Yeah. New Jersey is actually probably really well known for tomatoes. Jersey tomatoes are a thing. I don't know if you've heard. Yeah, yeah, I know. Sometimes I like see like the 50 foods that every state is known for, and often New Jersey is tomatoes.
I
Um,
didn't. I guess because y'all have those diners and stuff, right?
we have lots of diners, but I don't know how that
Diners, like
relates to tomatoes
I
necessarily.
don't know. I when I think of diners, I think of like club sandwiches and
Sure, yeah. So
there's tomatoes on those.
a lot of diners are Greek owned. So often you'll go to a diner and it'll be like
Oh,
7 pages, and there'll be an entire page of Greek
that's
food,
too many.
which
That's
is
too many
cool.
pages.
You
That's
have
too
no
many.
idea,
That's too
dude.
many pages on a menu.
Some
A
diner,
menu
it's
should be
absurd.
one page. One
No,
page for me.
diners are like you can have anything here, including
I don't want
souvlaki. You know
to.
what I mean?
No, I don't.
It's
I don't want that.
it's always pretty wild.
Any person who
Um,
goes to a diner and doesn't know like exactly the thing that they're going for, like, what are you doing?
yeah.
What are you
All
doing?
right. I think
My
maybe
brother
I'll
in
just
Christ.
maybe I'll just save my crab meat for me, and I'll do something fun with it later. Because now everyone's being mean to me in chat, so
No.
I
Don't be
deserve it.
mean. Don't be mean to Rudy. Rudy's
Don't
a
be mean.
precious boy.
I'm
He's
trying
a
my
precious
best.
boy.
But I actually might have made way too much cheese sauce for the amount of macaroni I have here. Uh,
It'll don't worry, it'll cook down.
I don't know. I'm pouring now. Let me do the
All right.
wide
Pour
cutting
enough
large.
to like pour enough to like be able to comfortably stir the cheese in.
That's like half of it.
Okay, well.
Oh man, I don't know if this is not. It
Yeah,
is
that's good.
cheesy.
Yeah,
Getting that
baby.
pull, getting that
Yeah.
pull.
Hold some more cheese in. Yeah.
I'll do a little more, but I think maybe my brother's like, I'll save it and I'll just dip sourdough bread into the cheese sauce, and I'm like, that's a great
Yeah.
idea. So
Now
I
I
think I'll
will
hold
say
on to the rest of that.
I usually will use all the cheese sauce, but that is because I let it rest overnight in the refrigerator.
Oh, that is a
So
pro move,
now
definitely.
if you're not doing that, then the amount that you have right here is fine.
Yeah, everybody is very well coated. No one's unhappy. Uh,
Aw,
yeah,
happy
I think
family.
this is
Ooh, I can
good.
see the cheese from here. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this
good cheese.
container worked out really well too. There's still a little bit of room for me to put the topping cheese on, but I'm very happy with our amount here. So
Yummy.
uh, I love that so just mac and cheese stuff real fast. I love
Yeah.
the addition of the paprika and the Cajun seasoning because I want heat in my mac and cheese. I will add hot sauce to it. I
Yes,
want
yes,
some sort of
yes, yes,
heat there.
yes.
So I think that's a really great idea. I love the color change. I like that. I mean, unfortunately, my lighting is really glaring, but it's like a nice kind of. There's like this, yeah, speckled hinted red throughout that I really
Mm-hmm.
like. And
Yeah.
so I'm gonna top with my extra sharp yellow cheddar. But when we were talking, you're like also breadcrumbs on top. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to
Yeah.
do breadcrumbs and then just take that smoked paprika and do a little trail on top of the bread.
Oh yeah, for some more of that
Yeah,
red color.
baby. Yeah,
Yes.
it'll help it crystallize into a nice crust
I
too.
like that a lot.
So that's
Uh,
gonna be real nice.
do you
Yummy.
toast your breadcrumbs first, or no? Just throw them on in there.
Nah, they'll get toasted in there. Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
I like to do a vented aluminum foil and then I'll brown the last
Oh,
few.
you'll throw it under the broiler, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a really good idea too.
Yeah, I'll do a vented one just to make sure that all of the cheese cooks through and stuff. And
Without
then,
turning, yeah,
yeah, and
without
then I'll do
turning,
10 minutes just like browning.
just browning. I love it. That's smart. Yeah, you
Yeah,
want that gorgeous like brown color without it being burnt. That would be very bad.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
100%.
So we're doing panko, right? Panko, king of
Yeah,
breadcrumbs.
panko.
Yeah, we
That's
saw
what
it
I like.
earlier.
I like panko because you can put it on top of things like this without
Hmm.
worrying about it's gonna get soggy.
Yes, it's so crispy and big. Like the breadcrumbs, they're big. They're big boy breadcrumbs. I feel
Yeah,
like
they're big
versus
boys.
the fine Italian ones you might find
Yeah.
for like a chicken parm or something like that.
I also like to do
Oh
a
boy.
panko. I like to do panko when I make fried chicken at home. When I have
Mm-hmm.
made fried chicken at home, which
Mm-hmm.
I like to make. Look. Let's be honest. I'm diabetic, and it's for a reason. I like to when I make my fried chicken at home instead of doing like a shallow
A
fry
batter. Okay.
in anything like that. I use butter and buttermilk for a lot of my stuff, so it's like
Oh, sure. Butter
I
as your
mean,
oil that you fry in? Oh boy. Have you
yeah,
done
I use
ghee?
butter as my oil. Hmm?
Ghee? Have you done ghee before? Or
No, no. Ghee is something that I'm not super good at. I'm not good at a clarified butter. It's
yeah.
often it often I do not treat it with the respect it deserves because I'm a very messy cook. I'm a very like scatterbrained cook. I'm not very methodical. And so I find often when I use ghee, my seasonings separate. Um,
Oh,
and it's just
sure.
not, yeah, it's just not, it doesn't give me the result I really want. And I don't do it justice.
Oh,
But I'll do buttermilk and some spicy boys. And I also like to brine my chicken before I do fried chicken.
oh
It's
yeah,
basically
definitely. And I
give
mean, you
it
said
nice.
buttermilk. I assume that's for
Yeah.
brining, right? Yeah, because the
Yeah.
acidity breaks it down overnight, and
Mhm.
yeah.
So it's
Okay,
just nice
so
and mixed.
let me see. I think this camera might be better in terms of showing off the color here.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
Let's look.
that looks pretty good.
Mm, it's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this. I'm gonna put it on a tray too, just in case it bubbles over, so I don't completely destroy my oven.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
Get
all
it
right,
nice and toasty.
this is not just a mac and cheese stream, yeah.
Yeah.
It is not. So this is gonna go what, half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour. I don't. This is a smaller portion, so I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
do.
okay.
I do about 20 minutes and then 10 minutes for browning.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me get some foil out then too. That's a really great idea. I love that idea.
Yeah. And if you need to, if you're worried that it will condensate too much, you can
Hmm.
poke little holes with some
Ooh,
forks into it
that's a good
to like
idea.
let some of
Steam or
the
yeah.
condensation out if you're worried. That's if you have like a runnier bechamel.
Hmm.
Um for me, that was creamy enough that I don't think you have to worry about
Should be
creating too
good.
much
Yeah.
condensation. Yeah, you'll be fine. You won't have to vent.
All right. Alexa, set timer 20 minutes. But
20 minutes, starting now.
I earlier today made another mac and cheese.
Another mac and
Yes,
cheese?
another mac and
Whoa.
cheese.
This is totally unexpected.
Wow,
Whoa, mac
professional
and
swap
cheese.
out, professional swap out.
Whoa.
Because we're not just making mac and cheese today. We're making something you can do with the leftover mac and cheese, yeah?
Yeah.
And it
I'm so ready.
involves beef brisket. Boop, 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 boop.
Yes,
Yes.
baby. This is
So
one of my favorite
Kentucky,
meals.
huge. I keep setting off everybody's Alexa. My parents say that all the time whenever I tell Alexa to set the timer for 20 minutes. They're like, "You set our Alexa off too at home." So I did it again. Sorry, Charlie. Uh,
Surprise.
let's see. I've got brisket. Yes. So this is no Kentucky big barbecue state. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what is so Texas is brisket. You know, everybody's got their own thing in particular that they're North Carolina pulled pork. What is Kentucky's like claim to fame in the barbecue world? Is there one specific thing, or they're just kind of like we're
You know
doing it
what's
all?
you know what's really too bad is that we don't really have a one thing for Kentucky when it comes to barbecue. We love
Okay.
barbecue. We
Uh
love
huh.
pulled pork and pulled
Mm.
chicken. That's like our big thing. But
Pulled
what
chicken. Okay.
what Kentucky is known for is actually the leftovers of barbecue.
Interesting.
Yeah,
How fitting.
we're known for burgoo.
Burgoo?
Mhm. It's basically like it's like a Irish winter stew. It's an everything in the pot.
Oh, you know what? I found out about this very recently, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Burgoo.
known a lot for
Yes.
like game meat, so squirrel,
Like a hunter's stew.
deer. Yeah. And so it's everything in everything in the stew. It's all the meat left over from winter, usually smoked. We'll do smoked turkey, smoked venison, squirrel, possum. Most people don't eat raccoon anymore, but whatever if you got it on
Sure.
hand.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll do all of that, and then we put it all in the pot. We make a stew out of it, and we'll have whatever greens or vegetables or something like that. Usually root vegetables, potatoes, turnips, not radishes really. Tomatoes, corn, beans, all of
Oh my
that. That
goodness.
all
Wow.
goes in the stew.
Everybody in the pool. Truly everybody in the pool.
Yeah, a lot of if you go to Kentucky during the summer, there'll be a lot of burgoose festivals, and a lot of people use
Ooh.
like pulled chicken and pulled pork is like the main thing that they'll usually use in that. You don't see a
Burgoo
lot of people
Festival.
using like beef. Yeah, and it's just we have a lot of we also do ham. We do a lot of ham here. So
Oh really?
less in the barbecue like the traditional barbecue sense. We do a lot of smoked meats. Um,
Interesting. Fascinating. Wow. I'm learning so much about Kentucky. Burgoo. Now I want some burgoo. That
oh
sounds really
yeah, get
good.
some burgoo, baby.
I'm gonna
John and
get it.
I, which
Your
John and I
husband.
were in
Yes.
SCA. Yes, my husband John
What a
and I were in
what a
SCA.
transition. Yeah, please continue.
Well, he when he got knighted last year, we did
Hmm.
burgoo at his because he wanted it to
Oh.
be this whole his entire aesthetic when it comes to the SCA is that he's just John, like he's just a guy.
Hmm.
And so when he got knighted, it was like he had like keg stands at his at his vigil, which the vigil for knighthood is supposed to be this ceremony where they sit in contemplation and think about like becoming a peer of the realm and everything and like the responsibility that they're gonna have now. And it's
And
supposed to,
he's
and
like,
people
keg
come in,
stands.
the prince had him do a keg stand. We had this whole thing of burgoo and a big old potluck, and it was a
Oh,
great time.
that's
We
so
were under like
cool.
a big old revival tent.
That's
It was a
awesome.
really good time.
That's a great way to personalize your special moments. But
Yeah,
let's
for
talk about
sure.
SCA now. So explain what SCA is and what it stands for.
Okay, so SCA
If you
stands
can,
for yeah,
yeah.
I can.
Okay.
SCA stands for Society of Creative Anachronism. It is a sort of pre 1600s historical, I want to say society, but it's really a non for profit organization
Hmm.
that is mostly focused on recreating the Middle Ages, quote unquote, as they should have been.
Hmm.
Previously, it was about Western Europe and the places that Western Europe touched, but now it's opened up to the entire world.
Hmm.
So it's basically any time before 1600, any place.
That's so cool. And it's not like,
Yeah.
you're very involved in the tabletop RPG. It's not about like leveling or LARPing necessarily. Like there's no.
There are people who feel like
It's
we
not
shouldn't
gamified
consider,
necessarily.
yeah, it's not really gamified, but there are moments of immersion
Okay.
and there is theater, there is play.
Yes. Yes.
So
There's no like
yeah,
rules that you got. I mean, there are. I'm trying to
There
think of how to
are
put this.
there's rules in any subculture, but
Yes.
there are moments of play that are almost theater. They're almost role play.
Yes.
For example, things like feast or court. A lot of those things, the processions before a tournament, things like that. Like there's a lot of
Yes.
like customs and role play and stuff. The
Mhm.
person that you are portraying, how they would have seen the world, and then also this organization is like 60 years old now. It was
Yes,
started
it's
in
huge.
Berkeley in the
Yeah.
1960s.
Yeah.
And and so like now it has its own like subculture with our own history and traditions and stuff. So there is an element of role play when you do go in there. That said, it
Yes.
doesn't have like, I think what differentiates it in many ways from LARP is not what other people do. What I think differentiates it from LARP is that there's no storyline and there's no
Mm.
antagonist.
Okay.
And those are the things that I think differentiate it from LARP. But the fact that for many of the kingdoms, our oath of fealty is lifted straight from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
Definitely
it's
has a
about
lot of its
historical
origins in
research.
fantasy kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
definitely.
Like, oh yeah, the some of the founders were like Mercedes Lackey and Marion Zimmer
Oh,
Bradley.
sure. Like noted
So,
fantasy authors.
which like,
Hugely
boo,
noted
Marion
fantasy
Zimmer
authors.
Bradley. We don't talk about her, but
I know Mercedes
Mercedes
Lackey. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
and
Yeah.
many people who began in SCA or started SCA went on to become pretty prolific fantasy writers.
Mm.
And so it's like we know what this is.
Yeah.
Like and there are definitely merits to it, being about history, being about learning about the world prior to 1600. But there are other parts of it that are like, we don't care if you bring like a folding bag chair or something to court,
Sure.
be
Sure.
comfortable. I went to an SCA event this past weekend and I didn't realize that I was going to be going. It was in the next town over, so it was very close to us. It was about a
Oh, wow.
10-minute drive. Um, and John was picking something up for somebody there, but then we were going to have lunch. And he asked me if I wanted to go inside, and I was like, "Oh, I don't have it. Like, I don't have any of my like I don't want to put in any of my nice stuff." So I just threw on one of his tunics over a pair of jeans and tennis shoes, and
Mhm.
people still recognized me. And I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Hello, it's me."
That's awesome that it's open enough to not
It
really
is.
be so rigid about rules, but at the
Yeah.
same time, people take it seriously and people have fun
Yes.
with it. So
And there's
it
a
sounds like
place for that.
it strikes that perfect balance, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. I know in the past it's had a reputation for being like, "Meh, everybody in the SDA will send you home if you, I don't know, if you
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
your
yeah.
actual glasses to an event or something." And I've never had that encounter.
Mhm.
I believe it if somebody tells me that they did have that encounter, but
Mm.
like, homie, come hang out with me
For
because
real. Yeah.
whoever that was, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Well, that's cool. I want to ask, a big part of the culture is the feasts, I think, right? And
Yes.
so
Yes.
what I assume that again you're trying to emulate feasts of the time period or some time period. So
Yeah.
what is some of the food that you eat at these events?
So, every kingdom is different. We all have different
Okay.
cultures, especially when it comes to food. And that is because when it's a weekend, sometimes you have situations where the SCA event is like a convention. So it's indoors at a hotel or something like that.
Okay.
And they can't bring outside food
Sure.
in.
Sure.
So, like, the hotel will cater or they'll get a food truck or something like that.
Mhm.
In Meridies, which is the kingdom that I'm in, that's a little bit of Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and the panhandle of Florida. We do a lot of camping because we can go to the national
Sure.
parks and do that.
Yes.
So that means that people will be camping. They'll be coming in Friday night, staying all day Saturday, and leaving Sunday morning. So
Mm.
when they get into typically for our camping events, when they get in on Friday, we have what's called a traveler's fair or a traveler's tavern. And
Mm-hmm.
that means that we'll have like a pot of chili or something. Just,
Sure.
hey, you just got in. Don't worry about food. It's on
Just
us.
come
Like,
and serve
type of thing.
yourself, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And then in the morning, we'll make breakfast for them. We'll have like a fundraiser lunch that's done by somebody else, like another group. And they'll do that to be like, hey, these funds are going to go towards our event that we're throwing this next time.
Oh, nice. So it keeps
Um,
paying it forward, kind of a thing.
Right, right.
That's great. Yeah.
And a lot of the times the fundraiser lunch they aren't like super planned out like medieval events or anything. They're more like a gyro with like some soup and some
Okay.
bread and things
Yes.
like that. Like they'll be very simple stuff that people can grab and go. Some people will do like little turnovers or meat pies
Oh,
and they'll send
fun.
people off on that. And that's usually because like we have so many
There's
people that
stuff
might have
going
different
on, right?
dietary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
right.
Yes.
And
So
so it's
yeah,
like,
that
here's the
seems safe.
vegetarian option,
Mm-hmm.
here's the meat option, and it's
And
usually chicken. It's usually
the only
not like
difference is we just put a different filling in, but we're still
Mhm.
churning them out. It's the same
Yeah, for
process,
sure.
just one minor change while we're cooking.
Yeah.
That makes total
And
sense. Yeah.
yeah, and then feasts typically they have whatever
Mm.
theme. They'll have a
Okay.
theme that's like based on whatever the theme of the entire event is. So our king and queen currently, Tim and Esme, they are doing a rule of a reign. I forgot the word. They're doing a reign that's based on Vlad Tepes. So they
Oh.
wanted to do that very like 15th, 16th century Ottoman and Wallachia. And
Yes.
so the early removes of the feast were all Hungarian food from that
Okay.
time period. And then we got into the Ottoman Turkish towards the end. So at the beginning
Wow.
it was
So it's just a
full,
whole.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, it was
really
full
fun.
Hungarian at the beginning, and then
Mm-hmm.
it started to meld into Turkish by the end. And so
That's
then we
really
could have like
cool.
Turkish delights and things like that for the
Yeah.
desserts.
Wow. That's so neat. Ugh.
Yeah.
That's so
I will
cool.
say, so for me, I've been in the SCA for 15 years. John is a knight. I am what's called a laurel,
Okay.
which a laurel is a person who is sort of like a knight, but for arts and sciences, for like arts
Oh,
and
okay.
crafts and stuff. I want
Yes.
to show you something real quick.
Oh, yeah, of
So
course. Please.
So this is the dress that I'm going to be wearing. Um, it looks much nicer on the body, but this is the gown that I'll be wearing
Oh,
this
wow.
weekend. Hand sewn.
Wow.
Just sat
Yeah.
down and yep, just like that. I made it out of some curtains. It's nice.
Nice.
But yeah, and so I have been recognized uh in my kingdom for my research into pre-1600s West Africa.
Oh, okay.
And basically I've spent the last 10 years teaching people about Africa before the Atlantic slave trade.
Mm.
And just teaching people about like the kingdom of Mali, the kingdom of Oyo, Benin, just all sorts of Europe's like access to Africa, but also India and China and how they traded with Africa as
Mm-hmm.
well, way before Europe even found Africa.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so I've spent like 10 years teaching people about that. I also had a vigil before my elevation
Okay.
ceremony,
Sure.
and it was of course African, and I bring it up because the food. For
Mm.
mine, for my vigil for my food, we did all pre-1600s West African food.
Wow. So
And
what's,
the
yeah,
people
what,
who, yeah. So I don't know how much you know about Nigerian food.
not much about Nigerian. Yeah.
So jollof is like a
Oh,
big
the
jollof rice
rice?
is like a
Yeah.
big one.
Okay.
But
I
we
do know
couldn't
that.
have that because it has tomatoes, which are New World.
Oh, okay.
So we had a lot. We had fufu, which is
That's
it's like
like a salady kind of thing. No,
no,
wait, no.
fufu is like a dumpling, but it's
Okay, okay, I'm
made in
wrong.
potato, and so it's like having a handful of mashed potatoes. It's like having a little round roll made of mashed potatoes,
Okay, okay,
and
I'm into it.
you
Yeah.
use it you use it to pick up stew, like you eat,
Okay.
and it's a lot of stews and stuff. And so I had
Okay.
my friends and I sit down and we had a little lunch that was very painstakingly researched for pre-1600s food and ingredients and stuff. We had gator tail. It was great.
Oh wow, yeah, I know a little bit about Ethiopian food, and I know
Mhm.
that there's that flatbread injera, I think might be what it's called. No, all right, but also very like food. You pick things up with your hands.
Yeah,
So.
they have wat,
Oh, the
which is
stew.
the
Yeah,
stew.
yeah.
Yeah, they have wat.
Big Wat fan, Dora Wat.
And they have a lot of like very similar
Okay.
food because wheat didn't really grow for them. They didn't have wheat,
Oh, so
so they
you're
didn't do
not a lot
wheat
of
bread.
bread. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. The
yeah, so
fermenting
not a
that
lot
is
of
like
bread.
a fermented flatbread that
Yeah,
I'm
and they
blanking
also
on,
didn't
but
have they would usually, if they had breads, they would make it out of millet. So
okay,
like
which is
a similar rice.
yes, it's like kind
Mhm.
of a grain, kind of right, millet.
Right, right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So you
Yeah,
break that into a
it's a little
flour
closer
and
to, yeah, it's somewhere between
like
couscous and rice.
yes, yeah. That's so cool. Oh my god, dude, you're the coolest.
Oh,
SCA
thanks. I
sounds really
love to
neat.
eat, and I
Oh,
love to eat.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
That's
got a ton of SCA up there.
in the
We're excited.
Northeast, in New Jersey area.
Yeah. Hmm.
What?
How far out are you from like Philadelphia?
I'm 15 minutes from Philadelphia. I live in South New Jersey. Yeah.
So, how far out are you from Pittsburgh? Is that two
That's a
and a
bit
half
further.
hours?
Yeah, that's a bit
3 hours?
further. Yeah,
So,
something
our
like that.
biggest SCA event, Penzic, which is a 12,000 person 2 week camping
Wow.
event,
Okay.
happens in Slippery Rock
Slippery
up in
Rock.
yeah, up in Pennsylvania near
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Near Pittsburgh. Interesting.
Yeah, but we have a
Interesting.
ton of groups up in like Philadelphia and stuff.
Oh, okay. Man, I'll have to do some
Mhm.
research. Yeah, this sounds like a really fun
Yeah.
hobby.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a good time.
yeah.
Try it out.
Okay.
People love cooks there, so
Oh yeah. Oh, all right. Nice. Nice. That's cool.
yeah, we
Um,
fucking.
let's
Oh gosh.
keep going. Yeah. So your grilled cheese. Let me ask this: mayonnaise or butter on a grilled cheese on the
Uh,
outside?
I don't like mayonnaise, so it is gonna be butter for me. But
All right.
if you prefer mayonnaise,
I
I
do, but
understand.
you're the
Uh,
guest. I'll do
I
butter.
do brine in mayonnaise, so
Oh, really?
and
Interesting.
it's not like you can taste it. So
Yeah. It's good for tenderizing. I'll do butter. Do
yeah,
you put cheese on this as well, or is it just the mac and cheese?
you put a little sprank, a little spranky cheese,
A little what? Spring?
a little sprinky cheese,
Oh, like
little
Parmesan or
yeah, a little sprinkle cheese. No, like grated cheese.
like grated like Parmesan
Y'all don't call
or
it. Y'all don't. No, grated like cheddar or
oh,
Colby Jack.
oh,
Yeah.
oh. I
Sorry,
don't
I don't
have
know.
any more cheese to grate. I
That's
grated
okay.
all my
You
cheese.
can also do you have sliced cheese? What do you
I do.
have?
I've got American. I've got pepper jack. I've got provolone. I've,
You can
I've
do
got it all.
American.
Yeah, I'll do
If you
American.
do like provolone or like an easily like melted cheese,
I'll do
and
American. I
then
have
just
nice
like,
yellow American
yeah,
that I think will work.
slice it a couple times and then overlay it. I like to
Okay.
do a little lattice work.
Barbecue sauce on our brisket too, or
No, it won't
no?
adhere.
Okay. You get out of here then. Okay. I got my grilled cheese. I got my mac and cheese. I got my brisket.
Yum, 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 yum. Oh, I'm so excited.
Uh, I'm gonna jump over. Changing cameras.
Okay.
Stove. Okay. There's my pan, my nonstick. I'm gonna be a little crazy. I'm gonna put my butter in and then put my bread on the butter, right? Because it's cold, rather than
Ready.
trying to like spread it on the right. Does
Hmm.
that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
I've got this really nice sourdough from Aldi. Aldi sourdough, check
Mm,
it out.
yummy.
Great value, quite a bit of it. Works out well. So I'm gonna melt
Yeah, we
that.
shop at Aldi all the time.
Yeah, Aldi rules. Do you have Trader Joe's near you?
No. We do have them in bigger towns and stuff,
Okay.
but Trader Joe's is kind of one of those places where they're like,
Alexa,
Aldi is
stop.
for towns like mine, and Trader Joe's is for bigger towns. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
sure. I understand. No, I mean Aldi's.
Yeah.
I think the quality of Aldi products is on par with
Oh,
Trader
hell
Joe's,
yeah.
and usually
Oh, they're
half
owned
the
by the same
price.
people, so
Yes, that was my understanding as well. And it's usually a lot more reasonable price. So, Aldi
it
rules.
is.
Big Aldi.
Yeah.
This stream is very pro Aldi. All right. So I'm going to go in with my 2 pieces of bread here. Just smear them all around. All right. I'm going to... What is my order of operations? I'm sure cheese first? Cheese?
Let's take a look. Yeah, let's
I
do
think
cheese.
Yeah, I'll do 2 slices just because there's going to be so much other
Yeah.
stuff. We don't need a lot of cheese here.
Excited.
So just get nice coverage cheese.
Yeah.
Brisket or mac and cheese next, maybe?
Yeah. And it's okay, by the way, if it
Yeah.
I have never had a mac and cheese sandwich with brisket where it stayed completely together
Oh, okay.
once done, unless they do it in a panini press.
Ah, sure.
So do not be surprised if it
Turns into a giant mess.
if it tries to turn into a giant mess,
Gotcha.
because it's gonna try.
My guest last week, Sean Curry, wrote a book about panini presses.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's a sandwich blogger.
Oh my god,
And yeah, I went to
oh,
college
that's
with him.
heckin' sick.
Wow, great guy. I forget the name. I think it was like 100 Paninis by Sean Curry. So check that out on Amazon. 100 panini recipes, something like that. Wow, I just cut myself. Great.
Oh
Thanks,
no!
Campbell's Soup Tomato Bisque can. So I'm making some tomato bisque to go with it.
Yes, for
So
dipping.
I've got, yeah, we're definitely dipping. Wow, I really sliced myself good. Okay, we're gonna wash our
Oh
hands a
no!
little bit
Hurry!
because we cut our hand. No,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
Campbell's fault, and they will be hearing from my attorney. Now you said that Campbell's tomato bisque with a little heavy cream is just fine, right? So splash of heavy cream. Hello?
Yeah, splash
Oh,
of
okay.
heavy
Am
cream.
I talking? Okay, good. All right. Vegas Lanky, my buddy Vegas is here. Hi, Vegas. And now we're gonna top this with brisket. We're just gonna top this with brisket. There we go.
Yeah,
And we're gonna do a
doing great.
big portion.
Yeah, I'm ready. Good brisket.
Oh my goodness. No barbecue sauce? No acid anywhere here? Just all...
Maybe we should do some barbecue sauce.
I was gonna say maybe just a little.
I'm starting to think. I'm like, maybe a
This is gonna be
little.
incredibly rich, but just a little splash.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Wow, I am.
Have you ever had this before?
I don't think I've ever. I've been to a couple like grilled cheese places that do a bunch of wild stuff at once, but I don't think I've ever had brisket and mac and cheese on one. There's a pretty famous like sandwich trucks in by Rutgers, which is the biggest college in New Jersey, Rutgers, or at least like one of the more famous ones. I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's this place,
so.
Rutgers. Yeah, there's these food trucks. They call them the grease trucks, and they were one of the originators of what the fat sandwich they call it, where they put like chicken fingers and mozzarella sticks and mac and cheese and French fries on a
That
sub.
sounds like a sandwich that like a 10-year-old would include.
Yeah, it's like
a
stupid frat boy from Rutgers. That's the kind of thing that they would
good
eat.
for them.
Yeah. So I don't think my
It
uncle's
feels
as
like
fat,
those
but...
2010 like YouTube videos where people would like eat sandwiches and people would react to them. Do you know what I mean? It was like, whoa, fat blaster sandwich or something. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay, yes, I know exactly. And that is exactly what it is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's like it sounds like that food that people would eat on like a BuzzFeed video or something.
Yes.
On
It was like
there.
Instagram food pre-Instagram is what I feel like
Oh
it
my
is.
god.
Like it's not
Incredible.
necessarily about it's about
Yeah.
getting as much carbs and fat in my mouth as possible because I am
Oh,
blasted and I need something to eat.
buck wild. Yeah, that does sound like drunk food.
Yes.
So does
Man,
this
where is this
actually,
glare
now that
coming
I'm
from?
thinking about
Oh,
it.
yeah, actually, you're totally right. This also is junk food. Okay, we're not quite crispy with our bread yet, but it's getting
Oh
there.
yeah, baby.
Here's a soup shot. Boop, 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 boop. Soup shot.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Let me get my special soup cup.
Soup.
It's a
Yes.
cup. It's my special soup bowl that says soup on it.
That's incredible. I love that. I love that more cups are like at the point of being like super big, like soup cups. I'm like, yeah, that's what I like. Or soup.
Let's talk. I have more questions for you. Okay, here's a good one.
Tell me.
You and I both love Conan the Barbarian, the film.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what Conan would eat.
What Conan would eat?
What
Oh
does Conan want?
man. So Conan did have that Black Lotus. So he is definitely a person who is given to like decadence and things like that. And we did
Yes.
see like him and Valeria
Yeah.
like all face first into some soup.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Is after they go on that first heist and they're loaded, they're just
Yes.
like partying nonstop in the taverns. I was trying
Yeah.
to remember. I think that's the only like the kind of the food scene that we get is him
They
falling.
also
Yes.
he also eats rabbit, like roasted rabbit, sitting
Yes, him
alongside
and Subutai,
Subadai.
they're
Yeah.
talking about the gods and stuff. They're munching
So
away on some roasted.
I think when it comes to Conan, I don't think his favorite food is like super decadent food or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. I do think that his food is probably like not smoked, but like roasted meat or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Just like something kind of fatty and greasy and um not like turkey legs or anything. He doesn't strike me as a guy who likes dry food or anything, but like hanks of like pork or something like that. I feel like he likes
Yes.
roasted pork for sure. For a coronation feast, let's see. He became king and wore his crown on a troubled brow. Um he was a king in what kingdom was he king
Aquilonia. He
of?
was king of
Aquilonia.
Aquilonia, which is the Roman kind of
Yeah, that's Roman.
equivalent. Yes.
So what I do know about Roman food and Mediterranean food is that there's lots of like pickled foods and stuff.
Mm.
Um, there's a lot of like, olives, dates, plums, like stewed plums, things like that. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the food can be served chilled or room temperature, doesn't necessarily have to be cooked. There's a I can't
Oh
remember
my
the name of
god.
it. There's sort of a Roman Gatorade that's like made with vinegar that he
Oh
probably would be
really?
okay with. Yeah. I think garum might be the name of
So
it.
garum was their fish sauce seasoning that they
Oh,
used in
never mind.
everything.
Not garum. But yeah, so there's that. And Sumerians aren't like the Nordic people, but they are more northern.
Yeah,
So I think that
they're
as
like
a
a
child, he would have
snow.
had like fish foods and stuff. I
Yes.
think he would have had like some fish foods. I think that he would probably like berries because he does talk about in one of the deleted scenes of the movie, he talks about going and picking wild blueberries with his father in the spring.
Oh.
Um, so I think that there would be blueberries like near his favorite food or something. I don't think that Conan would have any interest in planning his own coronation feast. So it probably
Definitely
would be
not.
like a
Yeah.
more Roman thing with like not like suckling pigs or anything, but
You know,
like lots
Roman
of
culture,
breads
a
and
lot of the upper class, it was like having the most decadent and foreign food was like a status
yes.
thing. So I do,
Yes, I
like
think that they
stuffed
would import
dormice.
something. Yeah.
Yes, like that
Yeah,
was like
I
a
think they do.
weird fancy food. So
Peacock, like they would have
yeah,
peacock for
exactly. They'd have some
sure.
weird rare thing from the other side of the world, uh,
Yeah,
just
and
to
they would
kind of
do all
show
this
off.
stuff. Yeah, if Conan's not in charge of his coronation feast, then it's a bunch of suck ups that are trying to
Yes,
be in
exactly.
charge of it. They're gonna be
Like
like,
it's
he'll love this, and I
yes,
think
he would
after the
scoff
feast
at
is
it.
over, yeah,
Yes.
I think after the feast is over, he would go to like his coronation room, and there would be like a friend or something waiting there for him with like
Yes.
some kind of like roasted meat snack and a bowl of
Or his
blueberries.
his favorite tavern owner from when he first
Mm,
came to Aquilonia, who's been like
yeah,
old friends with him for a long time.
yeah.
This is where the
He
real feast is. Yeah.
he strikes me as a man who also like doesn't like the taste of grog, but would crave it when drinking wines and stuff.
Oh,
Would be
sure,
like,
yeah.
I
This, I
really
mean,
wish I could just have simple food,
he's a
you know?
man of the people, Conan.
Yeah, for sure.
Started off as a thief.
Yeah.
All right. This looks incredible.
I can't wait for you to try it. I'm so excited.
It is packed. It
Oh,
is
yeah.
filled, nicely browned, crispy. Hold on, is this just
Yes,
picking this up?
baby.
You picking that up?
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Let me get my knife, my big knife. This deserves big knife. Everybody get out of the way.
Yeah.
Station's a mess. I'm gonna do triangles here.
My gosh, I'm so excited for you. I have a little bit of a delay, so tell me when you bite in.
Okay, I gotta mute my mic when I bite. I was told last week that it's driving people crazy.
Okay, tell me right before you mute.
Okay, I'm gonna have a bite, and then I'm gonna dip with the bite. Oh, that's right. We didn't need to put barbecue sauce. We're gonna dip it in the. All right. Here we go. I'm biting.
It's okay.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's
Oh my god,
up.
it's so good.
It's good,
This is
right?
so good. This is so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah. Try it in the soup.
mm. Yeah, the cheese sauce from the macaroni and cheese gives it like
Right?
this
That little
creaminess.
kick. Yeah.
Yes, the creaminess and the kick. I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna dip here. We're
And
dipping.
then using heavy cream in the soup instead of
Mm-hmm.
milk is going to make it pass a lot better. Like it's going to make it where it's like a lot creamier to the palate. It won't be as like stingy and
Acidic.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't be as
Mm-hmm.
stingy and sweet, but it'll be like a little creamier.
100%. Yep. This
Maybe,
is
right?
this
That's
is
good shit,
like
right?
yeah. This is impress someone food. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine making that for a date?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
It's good, right? That's why I'm diabetic.
GK, it's so good. I wish I
It's
could
perfect
share a bite
comfort
with
food.
you.
That's okay. I'll make some for myself.
This is getting added to the rotation 100%.
Oh, absolutely right. Isn't it good with the
Yeah.
brisket too, with that
Yes.
fat? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, mm.
And like I love making briskets, whole briskets, smoking them, and I'm like,
Yes.
what do I do with my leftovers? You know what I mean?
Yes,
Now I
exactly.
know. Now
When
I
you make it
know.
with fresh brisket where the fat is still a little crispy.
Crispy, yes.
Yeah.
Rendered and crispy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
man,
great.
this is dangerous for real.
Yeah.
Like
I'm so
I
sorry for
ate
you now.
I just like inhaled almost half of it, and I didn't even notice. Like I just kept going back, and now it's halfway done, and
Yeah. It's great, right? Yeah,
it's so good.
there's a barbecue place, Smoky Bones,
Ooh,
in
fun.
about an hour and a half south of me that does an incredible mac and cheese, brisket, grilled cheese, and tomato bisque, and it's life changing. It's a
Yeah.
great place.
Wow.
But there's a St. Louis style barbecue place in town that does a similar one, but it's a quesadilla. So
Oh, I like that
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
they do a
less.
quesadilla.
That
Yep.
sounds really good.
Yeah, it's real
Okay.
good. It's pretty popular with a lot of like especially like black owned barbecue places in this area. It's like really popular.
And I'm pulling my other mac and cheese out now.
Mhm.
Looks beautiful.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah, I gotta play with my lighting here because so much is reflecting, and I'm not. It's
Yes,
not giving a
that's
really good
beautiful.
color. But the color on this
Yeah.
is so much nicer than the one I made earlier
Well,
today.
and
That
you
smoked
can
paprika on
see,
top.
yeah,
Yes.
you can see that your bechamel was perfect because you don't have any
Yeah.
grease pooling on top.
No. No, not
Gorgeous,
at all.
gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yeah. Really happy. The panko, the color contrast between the panko and the
Mhm.
smoked paprika and the cheese.
Yep.
That neon yellow cheese.
Beautiful
Man,
texture.
this
Mwah.
is great.
Can we
I
chef's kiss
have
on here? Is that a
mwah,
mwah? Is it
mwah,
too on the nose?
mwah. No, not at all. Not at all. We do lots of these. That's good macaroni and
Ooh,
cheese.
the macaroni. Yeah.
That's what we say. Man, wow, TK, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
That's what I
Um,
can eat, baby.
your
I can
mac and
eat.
cheese expertise taught me a lot. I thought I knew, but no, I did not.
Well,
Now I know a
I'm
lot
really
more.
glad. I'm glad
Yeah.
that I could share this with you because this is one of my favorites. It was between this and jambalaya, so
Ooh, that would have been fun.
also
Maybe
good.
we have you back to do jambalaya
Yeah,
sometime because I would like that a
yeah,
lot too. Yeah.
yeah. I love a jambalaya. Of course, my dad's family is all from Texas and Baton Rouge, so
Okay.
that's
So yeah,
why.
that's
Yeah,
your real deal recipe. Wow.
yeah. You know we can eat, so
Well, yeah, thank you again so much for being on my silly little cooking show. Where can my
Hey.
audience find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Well, I used to be on Twitter. I'm still on Twitter at TK Joins the
Yeah.
Fray, but I'm also on Blue Sky at TK
Okay.
Joins the Fray.
Okay.
Um, I don't really stream much anymore, but if you
Mm-hmm.
did want to just say hi, then that's fine too. The one I post on the most now is Instagram, and if you go to my Instagram, which I think is TK has joined the fray, um, it's all like SCA stuff. So just
Oh,
it's
awesome.
me, but a bunch of costumes. Mostly because I'm kind of in between when it comes to like writing and things like that.
Yes.
Sometimes I talk about Roll20, but who knows? Yeah. So
Confirmed. TK has joined the fray as your Instagram.
dick.
If
I think it was originally TK has joined the fray
mm-hmm.
everywhere, but
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter it was too many characters. And
Oh,
I was like,
really?
well, I'll just change it to TK joins the fray on Twitter because I'm never gonna use Twitter.
Yeah. If you see someone with Delaware in their name, follow you. That's my mom, just so you know.
Dick. Yeah.
Yeah, because they moved to Delaware in August, and now like they're making their usernames Delaware for everything. It's weird that my parents were so
Hey,
fast to go all in on Delaware, but
you know, I've
they're
never lived
proud
anywhere. Well, that's not true.
Delawareans. Yeah,
I've never, as an adult, lived anywhere but here. And so it's kind of
sure.
like, I get it.
Yeah, you just want to be you're something else now, I guess. So, thanks, mom. Delaware.
Let
Um,
me live for 5 minutes somewhere else, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm from here.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Next week I'll be back with Teos Abadia. We're gonna make arroz con pollo. Uh,
It's gonna
like
be
his family
awesome.
does. I'm really excited for that. I love Teos. I love arroz con pollo. So I'm excited to
So
see
good.
his take on it. TK, thank you again so much. Thank you everyone in my chat who's been watching. If you haven't already, please follow me on the disc on Twitch. Uh, Someday I will be partner. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever goals. It's fine. I'm having fun. That's the most important thing. I'm talking to my friends and I'm making food and I'm having a good time. That's all that
Is
matters.
good
So
food.
if you're enjoying being here, then give me a follow. If not, it's not a big deal. So yeah, so that's it. I'll be here next week. Thank you again, TK. You're the best. Have a good night.
Bye.